Welcome, everybody. This is an annual award, and we are very privileged to have stellar achievers and leaders today. In this award, there are components to the award which are the Patrick J. McGowan Lifetime Achievement Award, the Exceptional Entrepreneur Award. Patrick J. McGowan was the founder of IDG Ventures, and I happened to meet him in 2006. An amazing gentleman who backed us for the first 10 years of our life. And I think it was an amazing journey where one of the big reasons why we are here today, earlier we were known as IDG Ventures and now Chiratae Ventures, is because Patrick McGowan today earlier backed us. And that backing was amazing because at that time, in 2006, when we started, there were very few funds in the market space overall. So today we have Patrick McGowan, who is Pat's son, and he is carrying on the excellent legacy in Pat's recognition and memory. He passed away 5-6 years back. We have established the Lifetime Achievement and the Exceptional Achievement Awards. Patrick's son is the chair of the board of the Patrick J. McGowan Foundation, a philanthropy focused on advanced artificial intelligence and data science to create a thriving, equitable, and sustainable future for all. A successful entrepreneur, Pat is sought-after consultant for various tech companies in the Silicon Valley, and over the past 25 years, he has demonstrated a deep commitment to emerging tech solutions as well as their application for the good of society. Before we go to the awards, I'd like to have a special welcome to Mr. Sivasubramanian Ramann, the chairman and MD of SIDBI, the Small Industries Development Bank of India, as our keynote speaker. The SIDBI is a well-known entity in the country who is doing stellar work in the space of funding startups through their fund of funds. Mr. Ramann, thank you very much for joining us today. It's really a privilege and honor, and I'll request Mr. Ramann to give a keynote before we start the awards. Over to Mr. Ramann.
Thank you, Sudhir. Good evening to all of you. It's certainly my privilege to be here amongst all of you. It's my personal congratulations to Sudhir and his team for starting as a pioneer in India in an area which today has seen a flood. It's really about the ability to take risk. And if Sudhir had learned from Patrick, I think so many more people have learned from Sudhir and his team. And I think that's the, sort of the cascading, approach or the cascading, progress that we are witnessing in the country today. We really have so many young and not so young people who are in the business of putting money into good ideas. And the ability to put money in ideas requires a huge amount of research, legwork, even espionage at times to find out what is actually going on in those ventures where money is required to be put. And as we all know, it's probably 7 out of 10 investments might go wrong, but that is really the nature of the beast. It's very heartening to find that in that period of time in which we see Sudhir and team and Chiratae growing in the way it has today come to be seen by all of us. In about 15 years, we're talking about the emergence of a very strong venture, private equity, by whatever name you'd like to call it. But it's about risk funding and risk capital going into all sorts of industries. We did in 2006 see a huge amount of money coming in from abroad. Those were the heady days of the pre-global financial crisis. And I think that was the first really a big phase for India when we saw a lot of foreign capital coming into the country. In fact, there were so many cases. I was in SEBI in those days, and I remember the ways IPOs used to sort of get listed, and the sort of multiple, interest that was shown in IPOs with so many X times of subscription. We're probably seeing something similar like that today, but the big difference between that period and now is a lot of the money that we saw in that period was from abroad. It was foreign funds coming in. It's not that the foreign funds have dried up. They've in fact only, quadrupled. But the big story is that the Indian funds, the Indian money has now come to stay. And I think that's a significant development for this country. It's really so good to see so many of our own people putting their money and making those investments into risk capital, which was something that was quite uncommon in those days. So my best wishes to all the attempts, all the ventures, all the brave-hearted people who managed to put their own funds, bring money from friends and family, and then finally get money from a host of other investors too. So it's a long process by which you grow your name, you become a credible person in the market, you are trusted to deal with other people's funds. And I think that's really the growth of an entirely new class of investors and a class of funds that we have seen. So it's really good to witness this, and I can only wish all of you the very best. And Chiratae, we hope to see more and more ventures of Chiratae coming good. But we look forward to very exciting times from the Indian, let me say, the capital markets. It's really no longer just the stock markets, it's the capital markets. The capital markets go well beyond just the stock exchanges and the money going through them. We are looking at possibly an equal amount of money that is being put into startups, which probably is going into the organized stock exchanges. And that's really when we'll see India moving from the hesitant steps that we've been taking and growing into a really full-fledged economy. So it's with great pleasure that I am here. And thank you so much, Sudhir, for inviting me.
Thank you, Mr. Ramann. And SIDBI is doing some stellar work, and I keep saying that SIDBI is the sovereign fund of funds for the Indian market space, and that we truly believe in that. And again, thank you for supporting us also.